Hello. Okay, so um academic writing. I keep getting papers from my students that have issues with academic writing versus writing a letter to a friend or whatever. So I'm going to go over some things that you should know as you are doing things for your classes, whatever class it is. Once you reach high school, you should definitely be using the stuff I'm going to teach you. All right. So, for example, things that you need to avoid. Avoid your personal pronouns. No I, no we, no us, no you, no my, no contractions of like I am or we're. Don't use them. This is academic papers. Okay, these are academic papers, which means they must be in academic language. And I think is not academic. It is a personal opinion, and that's not what you were using. So once you get to high school, you should not be saying things like I think and you should and I believe. So instead of saying that I think that the author was saying blah blah blah, just say the author was saying blah blah blah. You don't have to say I think you should, I believe. These were all things that when you were in upper elementary and middle school, you did this to help organize your papers. But now you can remove that first part and just keep with the rest of the sentence. Don't say, I believe that, Romeo was an idiot for going too fast. Just say, Romeo was an idiot for going too fast. Just that's all you have to say. Okay, well, idiot's probably not very academic either, but uh, Romeo's values were misplaced uh, by rushing into his marriage with Juliet. And you don't have to say, I believe that Romeo's values were misplaced. You just want to keep the personal out of it. This is not you. This is not about you. This is an academic paper. So it should not have you or your thoughts about other people in it at all. You should not be saying, we should save the planet. Just say, save the planet. People should save the planet. People should be doing more to save the planet. Don't say we. Don't say our. Don't say us. Don't say my. Don't use those. Keep your personal things out of your papers. No more, I think we should, you should, I believe, blah, blah, blah. Keep them out. Get rid of them. Gone. Poof. Okay? Stay away from a lot. If you can't avoid, please stay away from a lot. There were a lot of people at the concert. There were many people at the concert. I have a lot of anxiety. I am very anxious. Okay, the character, had a lot of anxiety. No, the character was anxious. Okay, the character was filled with anxiety, but she didn't have a lot of it. Okay, when I was in school years and years ago, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, my teachers had a whole thing about. I a couple of different teachers who would go nuts over a lot because it's an area of land, okay? And that's what it is. It's a slang term for many, but in academic papers it should not be used, okay? It's an area of land where you park cars, as you can see. That's a lot. That's what a lot is. But in terms of saying things like many, that's slang and it's not academic. So don't use a lot in your paper. Don't use that phrase. Watch your tone. Okay. Remember, you're writing to your teacher. You're writing to your friend, your grandma, your siblings, your Instagram followers. You're not writing to any of those people. You are writing to your teacher. So don't use slang. Don't use inappropriate language, and keep it, keep it academic. Okay. This is your teacher, not your best friend hanging with you as you go to the mall or go to the 7-Eleven and buy a Slurpee or something. You're not don't write to me like you would write or text your friends. Okay, definitely don't use letters or numbers for your words. Use real words. Okay, so avoid the slangs. Unless you're directly quoting a source, do not use slang or numbers or letters for words. So no great, no OMGs, no BRBs, no ASAP, no BTWs. Avoid all of those. Okay, this is academics, not text. Okay, it's different. than when you're writing a tweet, or when you're writing on Instagram, or you're messaging your friends on Snapchat or WhatsApp or whatever. This is an academic paper. Keep the slang out. All right? Don't have anything that you can, that is mixtures of letters and numbers. Don't, use a number instead. Don't use the letter U, in all by itself and don't have YOU in there anyway if you can avoid it, unless it's a direct quote. So just keep it as academic and formal as possible. Avoid contractions. It doesn't mean you can't use them, it just means you shouldn't. Say do or do not, there is no don't. Can or cannot, there is no can't. Would or would not, there is no wouldn't. Should or should not, there is no shouldn't. And are not, there is no aren't. So you see where this is going? Okay, so avoid the contractions. Say the author did not do this thing, not the author didn't do this thing. Try to avoid contractions. Sound like Grover. If you've ever watched Sesame Street and you watch Grover, Grover doesn't use contractions. I don't know why they made that choice for him, but he doesn't. He does not say, I don't like this food. He says, I do not like this food. Avoid those contractions. And that goes for your coulda, woulda, shouldas, okay? So could have instead of could have, would have instead of would have, should have instead of should have, and never ever is it of something. You can't of things. You can't, I would have done something. No, you can't of something. You have something, okay? But you can't of it. You can have it, but you can't of it. So no ofs. There should not be could of, would of, should of. Don't do that. Could have, would have, should have. All right, get rid of those contractions as well, and then refer to names to authors by their last names. They're not your friends, okay? So you don't refer to them. You don't say William said. You say Shakespeare wrote. All right. Neil Gaiman is obviously the only exception to this rule because someone went on Twitter and posted that my English teacher says we shouldn't refer to authors by their first names because they aren't our friends. Will you confirm our friendship and let me call you Neil on my American Gods book report? And he said, absolutely. So great. Now he's Neil to that one kid who got his friendship acknowledged. But otherwise, he's Gaiman. Okay. It's Shakespeare. It's Hemingway. It's Steinbeck. Don't refer to them by their first names. John said this. No, Steinbeck said that. You are not his bestie. He's dead. You can't be his bestie. So you refer to them by their last names. All right. So those are the rules. There is a Kahoot, but there are a number of Kahoots that go over academic language. But these are the basic rules. Okay. So going back up to the front, avoid your personal pronouns. Stay away from the phrase a lot. Remember, you're writing to your teacher, not your buddy or your Instagram fans or whatever. Avoid slang. Don't use words. Don't use numbers and letter combinations for words and that kind of stuff unless it's a direct quote. You have to write the full words out. Don't contract your things if you can. Do not contract. All right. So make sure that you do that, and that goes with the could haves and would haves. And then again, refer to your authors by their last names. You don't know them. They're not your buds. Don't refer to them by their first names. All right, so hopefully that answers any questions. If it doesn't, let me know. Put something in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to help you out. All right, thank you.